You are listening to Random Gameplay Pimpin.
What's up, guys? What is going down? What is going down? This is your boy Studio MacGyver, and you are listening to Random Gameplay Pimpin. Welcome to the show, guys. If you're new to the podcast, welcome. This is podcast episode 406, and I have some things I want to discuss with you guys. It's been a couple weeks, and it's a lot that has happened. It's a lot that went down. We have some Cyberpunk to talk about. I have some Nintendo, of course, to talk about. We have some Xbox news, and we have some updates on your boy's Steam Deck. So I'm excited to talk about all these things. And I also want to talk a little bit about the state of AAA games. Okay. The state of AAA games as of right now. We are in, since I can remember, uncharted territories. And I really want to discuss this because it's concerning, but at the same time, I'm at peace with it, and I'll explain all that. But let's begin the show. First, my anime watch list. Guys, I have not had time to watch any anime. I watched one episode of an anime, and that is it, guys. That is it. Fire Force is almost finished, and I have a couple other ones I've been watching, and I'm just waiting for the English dub to catch up. I could technically finish them now, but I don't like watching anime in one format and then having to switch it up at the end or in the middle, whatever. So if I commit to English dub, I'm going to watch English dub. If I commit to sub, I'm going to watch it in sub. So that's kind of like what I'm doing. There's a lot of anime that I do want to watch that is sub only. And you have to be, of course, me personally, I have to be in a certain mood. I have to have peace, complete concentration, because I can't have my kids running around doing extra shit while I'm trying to focus on making sure I know what the fuck is going on. So those are going to be coming probably sometime in August when they go back to school. So I can come home from work or whenever, and I know at 9 o'clock they'll all be sleeping or in bed, and then I can do what I need to do. So there's a lot of things when you have kids, you just got to plan around, and the ones who know just know. So that out of the way, one piece of information that makes me extremely excited on the anime tip is Cyberpunk. Yes, Cyberpunk EdgeRunners Season 2 has been officially announced. And to be honest with you guys, I did not think that was going to happen. There were rumors out here in these anime streets and people were talking, saying this and that. But for the most part, I thought, from what I heard up until this point, is that they were going with another studio. Okay. Studio Trigger was the studio who did the first season, and that's what everybody wanted. Nobody wanted to be jolted per se. You know, when you're dealing with one anime and then you get another studio, you know, people were scared that it was going to be different and it wasn't going to be the same and have the same kind of flair that, you know, Studio Trigger, you know, did on the first season. And happy to announce that Studio Trigger has picked this up. So it will be Studio Trigger working on this season 2, which is going to be phenomenal. And also this is going to focus on a whole new set of characters in the world of Cyberpunk, of course. And I'm anxious to see who these characters are going to be. Not gonna sit here and lie to you and tell you that I don't know if anybody's beating that first squad, but I could be wrong. And part of the fun about a season 2 that takes place with a completely new story is finding all those things out and having fun with that. So it has also been concrete for, I think it's been greenlit for 10 episodes. So we got 10 episodes. And they'll be able to cook with that 10 episodes. I can't remember how many episodes season 1 had, man. My brain is kind of foggy, but I want to say they had 8 or 10. I can't remember, but 10 is a solid number. Okay. So I'm happy with that. And it's going to be on Netflix, of course. And I'm really excited. The director who did the episode Girl on Fire is going to be directing this entire season. So that's cool. Like I said, Studio Trigger and CD Projekt Red are going to be under the helm with this. And like I said, I can't be more happier. If you have not seen season 1, you're definitely missing out. And if you love Cyberpunk, I mean, you've probably already seen it. But like I said, it's a great anime, great story, great characters, man. And I just loved it. So with that out of the way, that's the anime news. That's all I have right there. And let's segue into this gaming sector, shall we? Because, guys, there's been a lot of shit popping off here. And Nintendo and Xbox lead the pack with the fuckery in the building. Okay, so to speak. Everybody has their sake. Okay, Xbox has their sake. They have their scrolls lit. They also have endo sticks and Sherm as well. And Nintendo's right behind them. Okay, their sake glasses are definitely filled to the brim, and they definitely have warm butter on the counter. So let's just get into it. And I'm going to start with Nintendo because Nintendo has announced that they are raising their fucking prices again. And they're going to be doing it for Canadians now. Yeah, they're raising their prices on not the new shit, not the current things, which is already expensive enough as it is, but they're going to raise the old stuff. So they're going to raise prices of the Switch Lite, and the OLED. So all of those last gen pieces of hardware are going to be raised in price. Okay. Also included in that is going to be accessories as well. So digital, physical games, accessories, all of those things are going to be raised by Nintendo I can't pronounce myself right now, for Canada. Okay. Now, if you're wondering what the prices are going to be, my daughter just walked in here. Give me 1 second, guys. Daddy's busy. Okay. Daddy has to record this. Okay. Daddy has to record his show. I got your juice. It's in the room. Okay.
I do it to eat the all.
Okay, baby. I'll be in there when I get finished, okay? So let Daddy finish, and when I get finished, I'll come in there and check on you, okay? All right, close Daddy's door, okay? I'm going to leave that in there so you guys can understand what it's like to be a podcaster. I'm just going to leave that in there. My daughter just came in here, and like I said, that is what I'm talking about when I'm dealing with this stuff. And I talked to her mom earlier tonight, and she said, yeah, she took an early nap, so I don't know what time she's going to wake up. So my wife goes to bed early, okay? 9, maybe 10 o'clock at the latest, she'll go to bed. And whatever happens after that, it pretty much falls in my lap because I'm a night owl and I stay up. So usually I'm graveyard shift and I watch my daughter or whatever. And it's summertime, so summer, all bets are off. There's no sleep regimen for any of the kids or anything like that. So basically, they're just like vampires, okay? They do what they want and they walk the house, and it's just crazy. So that's what's happening. And just now I got a taste of that with my daughter Yuri coming in here, and you see what I had to do. So anyway, as I was saying, talking back about Nintendo and what they've been doing with their prices, they've basically been pulling out warm butter on Canadians, and they're going to pull out more. And the way this is looking, they're going to put that butter up. Okay. Butter, they're going to say, you know what? Fuck that. We're not even going to use butter. No lubricants, because Canadians are really, really getting fucked right now, man. And the price of this, if you're wondering, is going to be revealed August 1st on the Canadian website. Okay. Nintendo's Canadian website, August 1st, they'll have the numbers and the price increase. Now, I don't know. I'm not going to speculate how much they're going to raise this, but I would not be surprised on anything outlandish. Okay. Nintendo now, I have learned, and most of us probably have learned long ago, that they are capable of anything now. Okay. They are, especially I'm talking about current Nintendo today. I'm not talking about old school Nintendo, you know, back in the day when they were really, the shit. Okay. I'm talking about corporate Nintendo of today. They are trash. Okay. That's why I moved away from the Switch 2 and went ahead and just picked up a Steam Deck. It just made more sense. But anyway, so that's the news on Nintendo. Okay. I don't even know where to begin with this, because part of me thinks that this is just the tip of the iceberg, and this is kind of like a starting point, and this is going to trickle down eventually to every country. Okay. I think that they're just, like I said, just getting everybody warmed up. Okay. They're taking a Q-tip, they're dipping it in warm butter, and they're just gently rubbing, lightly rubbing the cornhole, just barely getting it wet. And then eventually they're going to, grab a spoon. Butter's going to be extremely hot and heated, and they're going to, start going crazy. Okay. This is what I think is going to happen. Like I said, I'm not surprised. I wouldn't be surprised now. And, no wonder everybody is doing what they're doing now. Okay. To Nintendo, trying to get their lick back, so to speak, because shit, man, you're only going to get hit in the face so many times before you want to hit back. You want to get your lick back. And right now, Nintendo's just teeing off, okay, on people. Now, the controversy is just constantly mounting with Nintendo. And like I said, I'm just done with Nintendo right now, guys. They're moving away from everything that made them special, in my opinion. How they did a lot of things. Now, they've always been a strange piece of whatever. Okay. They've had their moments in the past as well, but this is just taking the cake. All right. In my opinion, they're just going too far, in my opinion. And it just doesn't make sense. They're doing things that don't make sense. Okay. The key card situation is really a travesty. It just doesn't make sense to even produce something like that has a short shelf life. Okay. After the servers go down and they move on to their next system, whatever that may be, these key cards are going to be obsolete. They're going to be obsolete. They're going to mean nothing. So it makes no sense to me. They should have just got away from that. Okay. And we'll see what happens. Could they change it? I say this all the time. It is possible for them to go ahead and get these cartridges and distribute them amongst, third-party developers and get it right. Do the same thing they did with the Switch 1. It is very possible they can do that if they want to. They just choose not to right now. That's just not what they want to do. And with all the backlash and with enough of it, hopefully they open their eyes and get the picture. And especially with these third-party developers, when they stop knocking at Nintendo's door because they can't make any money off of it, then maybe Nintendo changes their tune, because nobody's buying these key cards. Okay. That's another thing. A lot of people look at sales. You break the sales down. These are selling very poorly, and rightfully so, because you're getting snowed. You're getting bamboozled. Okay. You're getting wool pulled over your eyes, and you're being taken into a dark alley, hit over the head with a foreign object. You're having your garments removed. You're having Nintendo heat up a bowl, okay, of hard butter, which then becomes soft, liquidy, and they're dipping their tips into that warm butter, and then they're pulling it out, and they are violating your person. Okay. That's what Nintendo is doing right now. All right. And a lot of people can already see it. And a lot of people who haven't purchased it yet, who thought about purchasing it, saw this, felt this, and said, you know what? I don't want to be taken in some back alley and used. Okay. And so they just didn't buy it. And I was one of those people. Okay. And it makes sense. Okay. There's a lot of people right now who own Switch 2s. I don't care what they tell you. All right. But anyone who owns a Switch 2 right now, I'm not going to say everyone, but I know there's a lot of people who bought this shit and are sitting home right now, sitting on their fucking hands, waiting for Donkey Kong. And guess what? When Donkey Kong comes out, they're going to play the shit out of Donkey Kong for 2 weeks, and then they're going to be sitting on their fucking hands again. All right. That's just the nature of the beast when you buy a new console anyway. But these overpriced games, guys, it's frivolous. That's just what it is. And the longer I play with this Steam Deck, okay, the more visual and the more this makes sense, at least to me. Okay, call me crazy, call me whatever you want to call me, but I'm going to get into that in two shakes of a lamb's tail. But Nintendo's tripping. Bottom line, Nintendo's tripping, and they need to fucking make some adjustments. All right. And only time will tell if that's going to happen. I can only hope that they do. But hey, if they don't, hey, I'm not even tripping anymore, guys. I'm really not tripping on any games right now. And like I said, all this I'm going to explain, but yeah, it's just a weird time that we're in. And, if you're a gamer, it's just a weird time right now, man. Okay. Shit is just meh as fuck right now out here in these video game streets. But all right, anyway, let's get off of that. Let's move on down and let's talk a little bit about your boy, Phil Spencer from Xbox. Now, apparently he is leaving the company. Some people say he has been fired. Nobody really knows. Maybe he got a golden parachute. and he just got let go. Who knows, guys? But basically, I'm bringing this up is because Microsoft has just reported that they are laying off 9,000 people. Okay. Now, don't get your panties in a bunch if you're, if you're tripping or whatever. I mean, yes, that's bad. That's really bad. It's Microsoft as a company, though. They're laying off 9,000 people over different sectors. Okay. Really, the tech industry is really being chastised right now, if I'm being honest. That's what it feels like. And, Microsoft is not safe either. They're not. So 9,000 people, which is about 4% of the company right now. And they also announced that 2 games that were in development, one that everybody was kind of waiting on and excited about, I know for a fact was Everwild is one of the games that got axed. And the other one is Perfect Dark. Now, Perfect Dark was one that I was interested in, and a couple other people I knew were interested in. And if you're not familiar with Perfect Dark as a series, it started back on the Nintendo 64. It was really right up there with 007 because 007 was kind of like that third person shooter that everybody loved and had so much fun with. And Perfect Dark was right behind them. If you remember those days of the 64, and Perfect Dark was a great game for the 64. And, they've done other games based on Perfect Dark before, but this one was supposed to be, hey, from the ground up, they're going to, do their thing with it, right? And a lot of people were excited for that, but it just got axed. So one thing I'm starting to see with companies in general, games are becoming longer and longer to develop, and depending on what type of game you're working on, it can lead to a lot of shitty things, because if you're basing your game on a trend, okay, that's going to last, maybe you have a 5-year window, 4-year window or something like that, then you're treading dangerous waters, because depending on when you start that game, by the time you finish that game, that trend is over. And then you have a game that is lifeless or dead on arrival. And whoever is in charge of making these type of decisions, I think a lot of them don't take that into consideration. I think a lot of them aren't. I say this so often. I think a lot of these people who are higher up, who are making a lot of these decisions for these companies, I don't think a lot of them care about games. I think that they're looking at it as a job. Okay. They come to work, and then after they clock out, it is whatever. Fuck everybody. Fuck everything. I'm going to make a sandwich and unbutton my pants and have a beer. And then guess what? Wash, rinse, and repeat the next day. They don't play video games. They don't care about video games. They're not passionate about video games. And it shows for a lot of these companies, because they don't think about the gamer and what the gamer might want or think. That's just, I'll never understand that. A lot of games that do well are games that are made by people with passion, and you can tell, you can see it. And if you've been a gamer as long as I have, these are tropes that you don't even really have to try too hard to see. You see them, and you see the care and the joy that went into a lot of these projects. These pieces of art is what I call them sometimes, because games to me are like pieces of art made by people, a lot of people who are passionate and care, and we're seeing less and less of that. All right. This has become a sweatshop for what is hot, what is trending. And it shows with a lot of these games, guys. Just keeping it real. And with Xbox, their issue, in my opinion, guys, they don't give a fuck. They just throw money at shit and expect miracles to happen. They think if they throw enough money at something, it's just a guaranteed win. And they're learning that it is not the case, guys. Okay. Let me just give you a quick little fun fact about Xbox in the last year and a half or so. Okay. All right. These cuts that are being made before this cut of 9,000 people, before that, they had 2 other cuts. All right. One back in January 2024 and another one in September of 2024. All right. Now, guess who suffers for that? The people who are actually working, the people who need their jobs. So what happens is Microsoft spends a lot of money, a shit ton of money. They overspend tremendously. And then they say, oh, the shit didn't work. We didn't profit off of this. Guess what? We have investors. We have to please the investors. We have to make a profit. So what do? The first thing they do is they cut employees. They don't take pay cuts. The execs aren't taking pay cuts. All right. They're cutting the little man. They're cutting the people, you never see or hear from too often. All right. The people who actually make the company move. That is who they are cutting. That is who they are killing out here. And I think people forget that Microsoft just recently, not too long ago, guys, they just spent $70 billion like it was nothing, a teaspoon of Kool-Aid on the ground. And what do they have to show for it? $70 billion, guys. What the fuck? You know how much money that is? You know how many studios could actually, make legacies off of just a dot on a piece of paper, if we're looking at it as in terms of measurements here, okay? And they just shit on it and threw it out like it was nothing. Bought all these companies and to do shit with them, right? And this is the crazy thing about all this. And now they're cutting people's lives, they're cutting people's jobs because they overspent and they have nothing to show for it. They didn't do what they were supposed to do. They put the cart before the horse, okay? They didn't have games in place that should have been or needed to be worked on. They didn't put through money on that. They just, they shit themselves. That's what they did. And now nobody wants to play with them, okay? That's what it feels like to me. That's all I'm saying. It's just a travesty, man. It's a travesty. Sad is what it is. Anyway, I don't know if Phil quit. I don't know if he was fired, but I'm sure he got a shit ton of heat for some of this shit, and rightfully so. Yes, this is just one division, and yes, gaming is not their, numero uno, but to a lot of people it is, and now it looks to be in shambles right now. I don't know what the fuck is going on right now, guys. I don't. Anyway, that segues me into the AAA gaming scene and what's going on here. What's been happening here. It's come to my attention, at least in the last 5 years or so. It's just that these games are just extremely expensive to make now. I mean, I'm talking about millions and millions of dollars to make some of these games, and hundreds of employees working on these teams. And it takes, we're looking at some of these games, guys, 6, 7, 8 years before the game comes out. All this money, all this millions invested into something. And some of these games never even see the light of day, just wasted, right? They don't use any of the assets, anything. It's just trash, vaporware. It just is sad. You know what I mean? I think we've hit kind of a stalemate with the software and the hardware, really hardware. Okay. Trying to find a medium of hardware and how much hardware would cost to produce this type of hardware that could deal with the amount of power needed to take advantage and make these things go without, breaking the bank, trying to find that medium, that perfect medium. And it's getting more and more difficult because, technology is just getting so advanced. But you would think with the advancement in this technology that it would kind of counteract to that. And maybe it will eventually, but right now it's just not, guys. It's taking too much time to produce these games, guys. We're seeing games announced in, probably 2025, and we won't see these games until 2030. Some of these 2031. Okay. And it's the art of snowing. They pull the wool over your eyes. They snow you. Hey, this game's this. And you see the trailer. And then when you get the game in your hand, it's trash. I mean, a la, Cyberpunk 2077. And the list could go on and on, No Man's Sky. And just games that, fool you. The people are fooling you. The company is fooling you. Okay. And then let's not even lift the curtain up. Let's not even go behind the curtain, because if you did that, you would see the devs telling a lot of these guys, hey, this is not ready. It was still cooking. And you see the higher up saying, no, you got a deadline. It's this. And if you don't get done, hey, work on it later. Kick it out now. And this is the problem as well. Okay. So there's a big problem with putting trailers together for people, enticing individuals and people, maybe shareholders, whoever, trying to rush something, or something getting rushed and not having time to cook. There's just so many things that go into, game production and just creating, some of these games. And there's a lot of people who are responsible that you'll never see who are making these bad decisions, drinking all this fucking sake and smoking all these endo sticks and just making bad decisions every day out here. Okay. And, it's sometimes you got to have that right, the perfect combination sometimes to pull things together, Expedition 33, what they were able to do, perfect storm with that, small team, it was definitely more than 33 people. I think, now if you've read into that, you understand that as a whole, there's been, countless people worked on this game, but it was just a perfect storm as far as, what needed to be done. The vision was there. They stuck to that vision and just knocked it home. They, they didn't have anybody cutting in, telling them, hey, let's do this, let's do that. Take your time, get the game done. And when you're done with it, put it out. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. And not a lot of companies are doing this. Okay. And it needs to stop. It simply needs to stop, because if you're noticing now, we're getting less and less games coming out, exclusives, or just awesome games, period, in my opinion, guys. And now we're starting to see that scale kind of shift towards indie developers, which please don't get twisted. I am not opposed to that, because I love indie games. I love indie studios, guys. And you're starting to see more of those kind of games, emerge and kind of do their thing. Expedition 33 is a AA game. It's not a AAA game. It's a AA game. Okay. Doing their thing though. All right. That's probably going to get game of the year, rightfully so. I'm a guy who, when it comes to video games, guys, I'm not looking for, the biggest team or the biggest budget. I'm looking for just the best experience. And sometimes that doesn't come from a AAA studio, and that's okay. And that's how it should be. Just make good shit and put it out there, and the people will decide. They will come. And that's how I look at it, guys. Okay. Right now, there's not a lot coming out. Sony used to kick out exclusives like it was nothing. They've got complacent. They've got a little bit lazy. Let's just keep it real. And they're coasting on that victory, still coasting on the victories of the stuff they did for the PS4. Okay. Riding that shit into what is now the PS5 era. And it's been there for a while. And it's just too far and in between, if you ask me, as far as titles. Too far and in between. And yes, I'm still going to buy the exclusives. I'm still going to buy the shit that's good. Okay. If it's good, I'm going to buy it. But, I'm still going to play what is cool, or what is awesome. And that's why I had to invest money in other consoles, because, when one side is kind of slow and dragging their feet, you go somewhere else. And right now it seems like everybody's kind of dragging their feet. You know what I mean? On those games that are just that mean something, at least right now. So now I have to go back, and I'm going back, and I'm trying to find games that I missed. And that's, there's so many beautiful things about being a gamer as well. Like you shouldn't always look at all the bad shit right now. Like the slow times now, in my opinion, we're kind of at this crossroads, in my opinion, with how games are being made and what's going on with the prices going up and all this shit, right? But there's also beautiful things that people, I think a lot of us look past, and we take for granted. And I think just that there's so many of them out here now, and I'm not even, and I don't mean like even recent games. I mean, just period. Like you can go all the way back to fucking Nintendo if you want, even further than that if you want. But I'm talking about just anything. I'm going to just go ahead and segue into this now, because the Steam Deck, I'm just going to segue into that, because I remember the last time I spoke to you guys, I was pretty done with the emulation portion of that. And I said I was going to focus on just the Steam library. And I'm happy to announce that between the last time I spoke to you guys and now, I have completely changed my mind and changed that period. Okay. I've finally had some time with this goddamn device, and it was fucking needed, because I finally cracked the code, guys. I'm not a very technical person when it comes to, the PC side of things. So I had to, figure some shit out. I had to find the BIOS files, for the PS2 and all this. I was really frustrated that I couldn't get the PS2 to work on there. And then also I was having some issues with, for whatever reason, with the Nintendo Wii. and the GameCube for whatever reason. But I figured all that shit out because my Retroid Pocket, you know, those were easy to do because it almost came ready, kitted out. But with the Steam Deck, you had to go in there and you had to do it yourself. Okay. You had to figure out how this shit works. And it's a learning curve to that shit. Okay. And I'm still, you know, learning it and everything like that. And that's fine. But I'm so happy to announce that now. I mean, I have my PS2 games on there. I have my Nintendo Wii games. I have Nintendo GameCube games on there now. So I'm floating extremely high right now. And my PSP library too as well. My PSP library is stupid. Okay. When you want to talk RPGs, you want to fucking talk action game, you want to talk puzzle games, like, man, the PSP was a fucking problem. Okay. For people who don't know about the fucking PSP. All right. I'm just telling you. And I discovered so many other games. Like this past couple of weeks, I've just been deep diving, finding hidden gems and games I didn't even know existed. I'm talking about overseas from Japan too. They got some gangers. Okay. I just, matter of fact, downloaded a, what was it? Metal Slug 3D game. Now they're making they're going to make a new Metal Slug 3D game. I saw it somewhere for modern consoles, but there was one that already existed on the PlayStation 2 back in the day, right? Didn't even fucking know it. And you wouldn't even know by listening to the name. The name is just Metal Slug. So I'm looking for Metal Slug 3D and I'm like, where the fuck is it? And then upon doing more research, oh, it's just Metal Slug in Japan. So I found the game, downloaded the game. It's fucking awesome. It's great. It just is sick. Okay. Any Metal Slug fans out there, you need to try this game. But anyway, when I cracked the code on the PS2, I was so happy because I'm playing, what am I playing right now? I am playing, what am I playing? Urban Reign right now. It's this RPG fighting game. All right. And I was trying so hard to get this to work on my Xbox because I also have my Xbox in dev kit mode, like where you can turn it into a retro console as well. And you can run PS2 and, you know, GameCube and stuff like that on there, but it doesn't run as good, or you have to, you know, make some changes or whatever, you know, to make it work properly. And for some reason, the PlayStation 2 games were just, they ran terribly on there. At least some of them did. And that was one of the games that ran terribly, but getting this stuff to run on the Steam Deck was just, after you get it working, it's buttery smooth, guys. It's so good. I can't wait. I've been playing SS Tricky 3 on the GameCube. I've been playing Urban Reign. Those are the two games I've been playing as of late, and some Metal Slug 3D. But I downloaded a shit ton of games last night. I stayed up all night downloading some other PS2 games and stuff. And man, there's some cool ones, man. Like I said, I have a little bit of everything. All right. So the retro scene is alive and fucking well. And guys, it's so fun. It is so fucking fun. Like and I told my boy the other day, I said, I don't need any other games right now, man. I have not, I still have shit to go get back to on the PS5. I still have stuff on Xbox to finish up. I still got to finish up Expedition. Technically, I beat the game story, but you know, after you beat the game, you can start New Game Plus. But I didn't start New Game Plus. I have to go clean up and fight there's a couple hidden bosses or whatever. I want to go do all that. So I'm not done with Expedition 33 yet. So I still want to do some things over there. And, you know, I have some other games too. But I'm just saying all this to say that, man, that fucking Steam Deck is fucking awesome. I've been playing a game from Steam called Sons of the Forest. And it came out a couple years ago. It's a survival game. You know, you have a helicopter crash and you're just surviving. You get your thoughts together. You pick up what you can. And there's these fucking cannibals and there's these weird, strange tribal people, you know, fucking with you. And you basically need to build your house, build your nice base, fortify your shit. You know what I mean? Set you some traps to get food, fish, things of that nature. Go around to different crash sites and different sites and get items like bullets and things of that nature, resources and stuff. You know, make your bow and arrow and things of that nature, man. It's really cool. Like me and my boys have been playing this. My son was playing today. Like I had to leave for a few hours today and he was there. So he just jumped on Discord with my homie and they were playing and he was assisting him. So we was in my homie's server, and my son was basically taking my place for me while I had to go do what I had to do because my homie was trying to build up some stuff. So we got, yeah, man, it's just fun. I think that game is about 20 gigs, and I won't really go anything higher than that on the Steam Deck. On the Steam Deck, for me, it's not a AAA game device for me. The Steam Deck for me is like an entry level into just Steam for me personally. And I like to play, basically I use the Steam Deck for AA games, indie games. It's like my indie games that you can only get on Steam. So like I said, perfect example, Sons of the Forest is something you can only play on Steam. And this is one of those games. So I'm playing that. And there's a couple other games I want to get. There's a sale. If you guys don't know, Steam has a summer sale. It's one of the biggest sales they have every year. And the sale is over in a few days. On the 10th is the final day. It ends on the 10th, I think. And there's a couple games I got my eye on that I want to get. And then I'm just chilling because I got my backlog, man. I'm set with my retro shit. I've also been playing Rogue Galaxy. That's an RPG. If you guys don't know, it's an awesome game as well. So I just got a lot of shit, man. And then there's other games that I eventually will stumble upon later and I can just add. I definitely grew up playing. I really, really loved the Fatal Frame series as well. So there's that. There's just some cool shit. Okay. Here, a lot of racing games, of course, my racers, and then my old school wrestling games too. SmackDown, Here Comes the Pain. I love the Fight Night series, like Fight Night 2004 and Fight Night Round 3, those games there. So, I've been playing a lot of that shit. If you know what I'm saying? So been enjoying it myself doing that. And I want for nothing. Being able to play that shit in the palm of your hand, being able to I've been playing on the TV though recently though. I hooked it up. I got so many devices in here now, but my Steam Deck is the thing I'm playing on my other TV, and in my monitor, I play everything else, every other system. So I'm thinking I made a place for it over here with everything else. I moved my PS3 over to my TV area. So to make room for the Steam Deck. So I'll probably move the Steam Deck over here eventually. But, I'm just having fun. I'm basically wanting to just boast about the Steam Deck, and especially with the retro stuff, man, like so many awesome games. Oh, the nostalgia and just how awesome they look. And then now, they allow you can actually download, shaders and different things if you really want to get technical and make these games look extremely fucking HD, 4K or whatever. You can put all this stuff in here, man. And I'm learning how to, do that stuff, for some of these games. So it's been a blast to play. Like God Hand is another one I can't wait to play. Like I have it on my PS3. I have God Hand actually on a PS3, but now I can just play it. I can play it on the go. I can, play it whenever. Like that's awesome. So that's another game I can't wait to get into. But right now I think Urban Reign is one I'm really, really enjoying, really loving right now. So yeah. And then, like I said, there's a lot of wrestling games. SmackDown, Here Comes the Pain. And I never got a chance to play any of the wrestling games on the GameCube, guys. Like, I can't think of the fucking names. There was two of them. Damn it. I can't think of the name of the wrestling games, but there are a couple on there. And, what gravitated me to them was because everybody's saying that those are the closest ones to the Aki engine. If you don't know what the Aki engine is, it's the same company who did all of the Nintendo 64 wrestling games, which are my favorite wrestling games all time. That's really my Nintendo 64. Like that's really all I play on Nintendo 64. Like I do play a little Mario and, GoldenEye's on there as well. Perfect Dark. Some of those games, Smash is on there as well. But my go-to games on the 64 has always been the wrestling games, the NWO Revenge, the WCW game, the WrestleMania 2000, No Mercy, and then also the heavily underrated one, which is my favorite one of all of them, which most people don't know. What are you talking about? Yes, there's one in Japan, Retro Pro Wrestling 2. Okay, that one with English patch, by the way. So that if you're worried about, there's an English patch for it. So you can go in there and enjoy it to the fucking fullest. All right. So yes, those games are awesome and I fucking love them. So yeah, man, I'm here for all of it. And like I said, I'm enjoying the fuck out of myself. And then I didn't forget to tell you guys that the game I'm most excited to play right now would probably be Mad World from the Nintendo Wii. One of my favorite games all time over anything. Cause I don't even play the Wii like that. Like that's the only game I fucking play on the Nintendo Wii. That's it, with the exception of 2 other games, which is the Dragon Ball game. Okay, Dragon Ball Adventures, right? I got that one on there. And really, that's it. Okay, and then there's one other game. It's a Street Fighter Clash. I forgot the fucking name of it, but it's like a crossover game. And that's it, man. Those are the only games I play on the Wii. But that's Mad World is one of my all-time favorite video games, period. Okay, and it came out left field. I remember when it came out, I was like, what the fuck? You know, what is this game doing on Nintendo? If you guys don't know about Mad World, it's a black and white game. It's black, white, and red. There's only 3 colors in this game. It's a bloody game. One of my favorite developers, Platinum Games, made it. You know, published by Sega, another one of my favorite publishers. Like, it's just a perfect fucking game, guys. It's an awesome action game. And if you like action, beat 'em ups and stuff like that, you owe it to yourself to check out this game. Okay. It's called Mad World. You have a chainsaw for an arm, one of your arms, and you can retract it if you want. Like, it's just an awesome game. But anyway, like, I'm in heaven right now. I'm in retro heaven, right? I want for nothing. So whenever I feel like playing something, and that's what I mean when I say this, like, as a video gamer, guys, like, you know, you may think that, oh, you don't want to play anything that's out now. Sometimes, bro, I swear, I don't look at it like that. I just look at, I just feel like playing some, virtual pro wrestling right now. I don't, yes, it came out on 64, but I just love that game. That game still holds up to me today. I just love everything about it. Same thing with, Mad World, or same thing with like a game like Punch Out, or not Punch Out, but an older version of Fight Night. Boxing, I'm a boxing fan. I love boxing, and I just love boxing games. Shit like that. You know what I mean? You don't care. SS Tricky. Come on, man. Like, really? When EA was about that life, like when EA Big was a thing, like that was so good. Like, that's one of my all-time favorite games, guys. The nostalgia is so real. The music, the soundtrack is one of the best soundtracks ever, like, put together, in my opinion, on a game. I just love that game. Everything about it. Being able to just go and before a race, skate over into the lodges and go in there and upgrade your gear and I just love that game. It just makes me feel so good every time I play it. And you guys with that nostalgia, those nostalgia games, and it still looks beautiful. Like, the game still looks beautiful, the animations, all of that, right? And I love that. Matter of fact, I'm probably going to work on Moby tonight. I'm going to play, Moby is the character I'm playing with on my Steam Deck, but I also have the game. I bought the game on my Xbox Series S, and I'm using someone else on that one, a female character on that one. So, you know what I mean? It's just, you got to love it, man. You got to love it. I also downloaded Shadow of the Colossus, the original, and Eco, like the originals, the bangers. Okay. Yeah, man, I'm in heaven right now. So I'm just going off on a tangent, a beautiful one at that. But that's what I'm leaning on. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not really worried about what's coming out now. Why everything is slow. Why are these games are slow? I'm saving money on top of all of that as well. Like, I'm not spending another game. The only other game I'm going to buy right now that I see myself buying anytime now soon is going to probably be, it's a $40 game at that. And it's an online game. And, I can't think of this fucking game. It's like a shooter kind of extraction type of game. I can't think of the fucking name. I got a brain freeze right now, but, that's the only game I'm going to buy. I've been wanting to play it, and I'm also, getting some friends that are getting it. So we're going to hook up and form some teams and kind of do our thing out there. But that's it, man. If I'm not playing that or Sons of the Forest right now, like online with anybody, I'm just going to, clean up my backlog when I want to feel like playing those. But I don't even have the urge to play or finish Assassin's Creed right now. I don't have the urge to, play certain games that are awesome games, right? But I just don't have the urge to play them now. I want to play, I want to play Max Payne 3. I want to play, games like that. I want to play SS Tricky right now. I want to play Urban Reign on PS2. So whatever calls to me is what I will play. You know what I mean? Period. So, I mean, Power Stone, I have Power Stone collection on the fucking PSP. You know what I mean? So I can play Power Stone right now. I can play SmackDown. I mean, not SmackDown. I can't play SmackDown. Here Comes the Pain right now if I want to. You see what I'm saying here? And a lot of people don't know about these games, man. They should this is video game conservation at its finest. These are games that just can stand the test of time, continue to be played and enjoyed today. So, I guess I'll leave you guys with that. That's going to do it for the show. I want to thank everybody for coming out, downloading, streaming. Okay. However you consume the show, man. Hey, I appreciate you and I thank you. And if you're new to the show, please consider coming back and joining the family, man, and just, tuning in. I would love to have you. And yeah, with that being said, I'm going to get out of here, guys. Check out my YouTube channel, Random Gameplay Pimpin'. Please subscribe if you have not. There's a link to the Discord in there. You guys join that. I'm going to be trying to do more of that. I'm going to be trying to stream a little bit here. I'm looking into that, especially some of these older games now, because the Steam Deck, you can actually record gameplay and you can kind of do some things. So, I don't know what I'm going to do yet. I just have some ideas, but, I'm always evolving, always trying to do things. Definitely check out the YouTube channel. There's content there. If you enjoy this podcast and you want more, check out the YouTube channel, guys. Gonna be, trying to, dropping some gameplay videos and stuff on there, when I do play. So whenever I'm playing something, I'm always recording and I'll be uploading it just for shits and giggles. And we'll go from there. Okay. But yeah, I want to thank everybody sincerely, though. And for the last time, I'm going to get out of here now and edit this and go play some Steam Deck. Okay. I love you guys dearly. This is your boy, Studio MacGyver, and you have been listening to Random Gameplay Pimpin'. See you next time.